Well, hello to all of our Darcy members, and thank you very much, Peter Bondrop, VP of Business Development at Aperio, for joining us today. I wanted to go ahead and give an update to our oil and gas clients on the business of Aperio. For those of you who aren't familiar with them, Aperio is a company that helps companies in many different industries ensure their sensor data quality by using machine learning to understand what that signal should look like with what they call a digital fingerprint, and then identify the users if there is any changes to the status of that sensor to help identify issues and get ahead of them more quickly. So Peter, would you mind giving us a update on where Aperio's applications lie currently in the oil and gas space? I know that you presented to our utilities group, but it'd be great to hear how things are progressing on the upstream front.
Definitely. Thanks, Jack. So maybe starting with the definition. So data integrity means ensuring that all data at all times accurately reflects the real world state of the assets and can actually be relied on for decision making. So it's essentially a core component in the technology stack. Now, as you mentioned, there can be many reasons for poor data integrity. This can be broken, frozen, drifting sensors, or problems in the data acquisition chain itself. So data integrity is really critical for any digitalization initiative. So the issues around it need to be solved. And as you mentioned, we're working with several oil and gas companies in Europe and US, sort of from all links of the value chain. And generally, when looking across an operating asset, production platform, refinery, etc., you have industry estimates that will put value creation from the general digitalization initiatives well into hundreds of millions of dollars. So, however, in reality, these digital initiatives often fall short of delivering the estimated value. So that means realized value will be significantly lower than the estimated value. And this difference is largely explained by data integrity issues. And what this means is that poor data integrity actually limits digitalization projects, which in turn means that resolving data integrity issues is what can help unlock the further value creation from these digitalization projects. So with this, our opportunity space of use cases is actually quite broad, but we typically focus on three groups. The first one being reliability, risk management, and the whole downtime, uptime topic. So this touches on topics like production process, product quality, predictive analytics, plant optimization, energy efficiency in particular, and so on. And here, Aperio solves data integrity issues, which in these cases have a real-time impact on operations. So the metrics we focus on here include time to detect and time to resolve. Essentially, what we are doing is we are increasing the detection and resolution speed of data integrity issues that are limiting a limiting factor on operations. So in that sense, we're enabling greater uptime, better predictions of equipment failure, driving operation costs down, and so on and so forth. So the second topic would be safety, regulatory security. And this relates to operator decision making in potentially critical situations. It relates to periodic pressure safety valve testing, continuous safety monitoring system, continuous safety system monitoring, and the like. And here, Aperio improves the safety profile of operations as we remove uncertainty regarding the state and performance of these safety systems, even between the periodic testings. So in this regard, we're actually already working on a few cases with both operators and regulators to reduce the requirement for periodic testing by providing the required system knowledge through verified high integrity data at all times. So also in terms of security, actually, and this is an emerging topic for many reasons, but with Aperio, you actually have in one of the same system the ability to also detect data threats that are arising out of tampering and manipulation of data. And this is typically what happens in OT cyber attacks. So it's the same underlying technology, same underlying implementation and operation of the Aperio system. So there's not really any difference from the operator perspective. But what it means is that an operator can feel confident that at any point in time, they can rely on data. They're not relying on manipulated, inaccurate, or wrong data for their decision making. So essentially, this can really provide some resilience in situations such as the Colonial Pipeline attack recently, to name a specific example, where after the attack, there was uncertainty as to whether the ransomware attack had somehow breached into the OT side, which is why they shut down operations, I believe. So Aperio removes this uncertainty and provides the required visibility. And thirdly, we have the sustainability topic. So data is a crucial component in providing transparency reporting, greenhouse gas emissions monitoring, and again, energy optimization. And we actually see that currently, due to issues with data integrity and obviously risks of fines for underreporting, companies tend to sort of on purpose significantly overreport actual emissions. So they're not able to get accurate enough data for the reporting, and therefore to be on the safe side, they say, let's just overreport. Of course, this also comes at a cost, but they prefer that in order to be on the safe side and not end up with underreporting and the fines that are associated with this. And obviously this becomes a messy situation, which is again something that Aperio fixes and solves, because we provide this data integrity that's required.
No, that's a really great summary, Peter. Appreciate you simplifying it and breaking it down into those three categories, and certainly do see the need for that, especially on the sustainability front. Like you mentioned, I think the industry is trending towards more continuous monitoring, which obviously is going to require more data and more sensors. So certainly see a growing opportunity for Aperio as those deployments grow. And then the other question I wanted to ask, though, is if you could just share an example or two of Aperio deployments that are maybe more mature in other industries, but where there is that significant overlap with oil and gas applications in terms of the kinds of data that might have been acquired, since these projects are emerging, but potentially could be a little bit further down the pipeline.
Yeah, definitely. So actually, chemicals manufacturing provides a quite good case for this. We have several engagements with companies in chemical process manufacturing, and we've actually used these engagements also to generate learnings for some of our oil and gas work as well. And here's an important thing to point out, that we are the data integrity experts. So we are not industry or subject matter experts. That also means our technology is really fully agnostic to industry, to process, and to hardware, because it focuses on the integrity of the operational data itself. So this is how we can work across industries and apply learnings from one to the other. So the example from a chemical chemicals customer of ours, it's a global top 20 chemical company actually, and we are working with them to improve their overall equipment effectiveness. This work consists of two main components where data integrity is key in both. One component is eliminating unplanned outages, as this particular customer saw that the vast majority of unplanned outages were due to data integrity issues. This could be an operator not getting the right data on the screens, or simply ignoring a good data point telling them something is wrong and choosing to operate on gut feel instead because of previous issues with trust and data. The second component is to provide the other digital tools already implemented in the operation to improve OEE and operations generally. Provide these tools with the high integrity data that they require to create value. So with this, Aperio really becomes the foundation layer, which needs to be in place for the work, in this case, to improve OEE. And we see that the benefits from Aperio is really massive. In this particular case of OEE improvement, we're actually enabling improvements to the tune of tens of millions of dollars per year on EBITDA level, from reducing the risk of unplanned outages and enabling the customer to leverage validated data in the sort of the rest of the digital tools systems group that they have in place. So that's predictive maintenance, advanced analytics, and the like, all tools that require high quality, high integrity data to deliver value. So that's really, it's a very, very significant value creation potential, and then with Aperio as the foundation layer. And actually, on this case, building on this case, I think it could be interesting to dive a bit into these unplanned outages specifically, because I'm quite confident actually that any of your partners who would investigate causes for unplanned outages in their operations, they'll actually find that most of these are resulting from poor data integrity, such as from broken, frozen, or drifting sensors, for example. So with this sort of massive issue, unplanned outages often arising out of broken sensors and the like that cause issues in the data foundation that is used in the operations, it's a quite significant benefit that can be derived from working with Aperio. So because these outages are so extremely costly, they easily run into obviously millions of dollars of revenue loss per day of outage. So eliminating just a single or perhaps even a few of these per year will immediately put the Aperio ROI well into the sort of 20, 30, 40x range. Even if you do nothing else, just eliminate unplanned outages with Aperio by ensuring high data integrity. It's a very, very significant ROI.
Well, that's great, Peter. I really do appreciate your time this morning. It's been great to hear about Aperio's growth and how these solutions can be applied to our upstream members. And I know that as the future is increasingly digital and there's only going to be more and more hardware, the need for this type of technology is certainly going to increase. So definitely see a bright future for you out there. So appreciate your time this morning, Peter. And for our Darcy members, if you do want to get in touch with the Aperio team, definitely encourage you to use the link to their storefront and below in this blog post and get in touch with Peter and the rest of the Aperio team, and they'll be happy to answer any of your follow-up questions. So thanks a lot, Peter, and have a great day.
Thank you, Jack.